Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another exciting race here for Dragon Warrior Randomizer. That is... Forgot to mute the stream a bit. Anyway, we got a great race for you. It's Demerine2 versus Braxis Muse and my co-commentator, Evil Eye. This is it. Another great match, and it should be a great one.
Yes, this is a 2-2 matchup. The winner moves on to the playoffs. The loser is unfortunately eliminated from the bracket stages. But this is just because of the playoff implications. It's going to be a very exciting race. I'm looking forward to it.
And I bet everybody who is watching us at RPG Limit Break are going to be excited as well. They're going to root for a fantastic race and also see a whole bunch of moves that they probably haven't seen before.
Hopefully some excellent moves.
And no excellent doges.
Yes, no critical misses, as I like to call them.
That's good. Anyway, we have both of them running strength hit points. They're going to have a lot of hit points to start, 27. They're going to have some magic and sleep, so that's going to help plink down some of the more... Actually, I take that back. Demerine2 is running strength hit points, but Braxis Muse is running hit point magic points.
Yeah, very unusual build. Not one we have seen a lot of in this tournament. Not one we see a whole lot of in Dragon Warrior Randomizer in general, really. Tends to be either strength hit points or strength agility. So I'm curious to see how this is going to work out. Meanwhile, we are off here. Both characters, both our runners using the, I believe it's the White Mage from Final Fantasy.
It's always fun, and we got ourselves a torch. We got ourselves the Death Necklace. And we got ourselves a magic key.
And the standard magic key behind the throne there.
Yep, and none of them have returned, so they can't save it. So this is
You can't check the treasury, so I'm just gonna head out into the great big wide world here.
And run into a cave, and it looks to be Swamp South.
And Braxis running into a werewolf. Demerine manages to survive a warlock. I'm not sure where she is walking to, however, if this is in fact Swamp South.
Well, she's gonna run into a red dragon.
She's gonna run right back to the castle. Meanwhile, wolf with top spell. Interesting.
Thankfully for Demerine, we'll get the first experience point of the game running into a blue slime.
Yep, chipping away at it, one damage at a time. Thankfully, it doesn't look like the slime has anything devastating attack-wise.
Yep, because I remember a couple of races ago that we actually had some blue slimes with DL2 Breath and Hurtmore and Sleep.
The slime wombo combo, amazing.
Yes, it allowed me to say a certain group of words that I never thought I would say in a race. Can I please have the stats for the slime?
That is the Dragon Warrior Randomizer sometimes. Demerine gonna put this sleep spell to good use and put this ghost to sleep. Oh, good thing, because ghosts have hurt more. Wow. Demerine getting very lucky that this ghost is remaining asleep for as long as it is.
And what's not lucky is that that attack failed, but defeats the ghost and gets level 2. Let's see if it's any good. 2 power, 5 speed, 1 hit point, 2 magic points, so there's a little bit of gravy there.
I would call that not particularly good, to be frank, but does get her a couple more power. Means should be able to a little bit more consistently at least hit ghosts for A damage. Although, you seem to get pretty lucky with that first ghost.
Yep. And CD Improv, when I was talking about the slime a couple of days ago, it was a blue slime that had the Wombo combo. But now we don't need to see it.
Demerine gonna put this ghost to sleep. Yeah, now doing 1 to 2 to ghosts, so we'll be able to chip away at this one here. And again, getting very lucky. That ghost, the Insomniac ghost, not an Insomniac, Narcoleptic ghost, what I meant to say. Insomniac is the exact opposite.
And what's the opposite of an Insomniac? A narcoleptic ghost is a wizard.
Yes, what is the opposite of something that will sit there and let you kill it? Something that will get the jump on you. And, well, Braxis going up to level 2 here.
Yeah, he'll have less hit points right now.
He'll actually have magic points right now. It looks like for whatever reason he has the same amount of hit points. Well, yeah, that makes sense. What he will actually have more of for the moment is slightly more strength because of how the builds work. Essentially, you have 2 stats that are your long-term focuses. Those are the ones that have the little plus signs next to them. The other 2 stats that are not your long-term focus get a short-term bonus, basically, in the early game, where they will actually be slightly stronger than they would normally be if they were the long-term focus. But around, I think, level 6 or 7, it starts to even out, and by the time you're at the end game, your long-term stats, the growth greatly outpaces what they would be if they were not the long-term focus.
Yep. Meanwhile, Braxis Muse is once again fighting a ghost. Gonna try to put it to sleep. Is able to do that. He's just got to beware of a ghost that has the ghost throwing hurt more at it.
Yes, which he has seen. Meanwhile, Demerine about to slime her way up to level 3. 0 power! 0 agility! Oh, I love it!
But get some magic points, get some hit points, but 16 magic points. That is pretty darn good going.
A lot of magic points. Unfortunately, no new spells to use it on. But that does afford her plenty of sleep casts.
So Demerine will probably be stuck putting ghosts to sleep and being a ghost puncher, so to speak.
Yep, Demerine finds another fun police officer. Called the Red Dragons the fun police because, as Ron Burgundy likes to say, when you run into them, the fun tends to end. That is certainly true here. Red Dragons, basically the most difficult normal enemy in the game. High hit points, high strength, high agility. Haven't seen any particularly special abilities out of them this seed, but they really don't need any special abilities to make your life miserable.
Nope. It could be worse. They could have DL2 breath. They could have sleep.
It could be worse, but not by a whole lot. Even if they just have attacks, they attack hard. And very resistant to spells as well.
The Metal Scorpion is hitting really hard. Demerine might see this and say, you know what, I think I might need to grind some more.
Yeah, question in chat. Yes, this is a 2-2 matchup. The winner moves on to the bracket stages. The loser is eliminated.
And Demerine realizing that the strength is not there to punch a scorpion, so just stuck on ghosts and slimes, it looks like.
Yeah, the extra short-term power for Braxis actually sort of coming into play here, making it a little safer for him to sleep and then punch ghosts, because he's doing a maximum of 3 damage now versus Demerine's 1 to 2.
And I would have to think that having that 11 strength right now, he could probably put a scorpion to sleep and punch it. Or is it still out of his price range?
I don't know. I think with the scorpions hitting as hard as they are with the 5 defense power, I think that's still a little... probably not a gamble you want to take.
Scorpion's way out, Skeleton's way out of the price range of Braxis Muse. He's going to be sent back to the castle. Question in chat: how did Braxis get to 11 strength? Well, because he's not doing a strength hit point build, he's doing a HP MP build. Is that while the stat will be higher to start than, say, if you're running a strength hit point build, but at the end it will be a lower build. It will have less in it. So, say by level 15, Demerine strength is 60. Braxis Muse's strength would be around 55.
Yes, just as an aside, hopefully you're at more than 60 strength at level 15, but you're correct. By that point, you'll start to see the difference. The long-term focus stat will be higher in the end. And lorgon noting in chat that because this is a very grindy beginning, not a whole lot going on exploration-wise, the chat is all about the meta. So a little bit about the stat builds. It's actually determined by the first 4 letters of your name. And in the vanilla game, there are actually 16 different builds. There are the 4 main builds, which are Strength Hit Points, Strength Agility, HP MP, and Agility MP. And then each of those can have a short-term bonus to the other 2 stats of 0, 1, 2, or 3. And the randomizer actually just reduces that to 4 builds, and your short-term modifier will always be 3.
So Demerine finds a magician, puts to sleep. Demerine is able to attack it. Looks like Demerine has found a new monster.
And it crit. Or 7, but still, that will definitely help. Uh-oh. Wakes up.
Yeah, but Demerine's gonna put it back to sleep and try again.
Put it back to sleep and just start chip-shotting it. There we go. So we'll get her level 4 now. 5 power, that'll help. 2 response speed, 3 hit points, 7 magic points, more sleepy buys. That Star Wyvern's still a little out of her reach.
Yeah, about as reach as being at the foot to the top of Mount Everest.
Question in chat, but the runners have no choice in build. The runners actually do have a choice in build because they actually name the character. So, you essentially choose your build based on your name, and because this is a race, they've both gone with 1 character names. I myself am partial to the Big Z, or Big Z if you're Canadian.
Eh?
Good day.
Eh, you're gonna be oot and boot and listen to some Barry Melrose, eh? That sounded pretty bad. Back to the race. Braxis Moose takes the lead by destroying a Magidrake.
I'm not gonna mess with that wolf.
Demerine is actually trying the cave again, but not gonna be able to do it with Drill Magi having hurt more. Youch.
Yeah, question in chat about the... Correct, you don't know necessarily what your starting or finishing stats will be. You can choose kind of what your long-term foci are, or focuses, but that you don't know how long it will take for that to even out or where you will end up. So, it becomes kind of a percentage play.
And it looks like Braxis is got enough strength to tackle a Scorpion. That's going to be big news for him. Meanwhile, Demerine decides to go east and sees some new plots of land. Hopefully, she'll be able to find something new and finds another cave.
That is either Tablet or Mountain Cave.
It is Tablet.
Alright, and she bails out, which I can't totally say I blame her. The Tablet Cave, though it's the first cave in the game you would get to if you were playing the game blind or casually, actually one of the more difficult caves to navigate in the dark. And because there are no enemies in the cave, if you screw up and you get lost, you can't bail out with a death warp. You have to just bonk and muddle your way through until you stumble on the exit. So I am certainly not a good enough player to do that, so...
Nor I. So Demerine now gonna do some more exploring. Runs into a metal Scorpion, not strong enough to take out that yet. Is able to get away, but now it's just a matter of finding a town or finding anything. Maybe some wizard, some magicians, and her dreams and hopes might be dashed by this Droll Magi if she's able to run from it. She's not, and Hurtmore will send her back. Ghosts have heal, believe it or not.
Interesting. High spirits in chat confirming it was the Tablet Cave that Demerine came across.
So Braxis Muse, who's slight early... Oh, Demerine's found a town.
Also has found a magician. She's gonna try a punch to death here. Good move.
And the Magidrake on Braxis' side. Braxis attacks, it's not enough.
Oh, uh-oh. Oh, another magician. I think Demerine is strong enough that she can just punch this to death. Doesn't even need to worry about sleep.
I think it's a matter of being careful.
Makes it to the town, and it's Hawksness.
Oh, joy.
Might be useful later on for a grind, or maybe there's a fancy piece of armor there, but right now, she's just gonna bail out. Good move.
Yep. And finds a small patch of forest that leads to nowhere. And a Star Wyvern telling her to go home. Oh, Braxis Moose gets to level 5. 3 power, 12
was a very nice
agility,
level.
11 hit points, 10 magic points. So, but no additional spells.
No new spells.
Demerine now finds a Drakey and feels up to the task.
Chat has kind of moved on from it, but brief bit of name trivia if you're curious. Empty Eye with a capital first E is a long-term HP MP build with a short-term modifier of 1 in the vanilla game. just happen to know that because I looked it up 10 years ago. I did a playthrough of it.
Now it looks like Braxis Muse is going to Tablet, and it's going to run into a Warlock. Unfortunately for Demerine, it's going to run into an Armored Knight and will be sent back with one shot.
Okay, so brief correction here. If this is whatever cave this is, it's not it's not Tablet if there's an enemy in it.
No, I said this was Swamp South.
Okay. That's it. Yeah, this is this path that Braxis is walking. That looks like Swamp South. Oh, wait. Oh, this is the
Scared Grave.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a key in there. Wow. 2 keys. Oh my, this just got very interesting. Braxis can try to gamble and try to dive the grave if he so chooses.
Gotta wonder when he would put the Warlock to sleep, and he does. That'll allow him to punch it out a bit. Meanwhile, Demerine is gonna punch out the Scorpion and get to level 5 in her own right.
Yep, and while Braxis is punching out this Warlock here, or trying to. The 2 keys are, of course, a huge development, but also useful information was that 3rd chest, which contained a cursed belt. What that means is that we know at least one of the 2 items that could potentially be either in a search spot or on the overworld has to be in a search spot, because the cursed belt replaces one of those items in the chest.
Meanwhile, Braxis Muse is gonna have a bit of advantage. He is going to die, so a grind is possible. He's just gotta make the right play.
Yeah, he's opened 3 chests, so I believe he has to open... So, well, there's some gold. Silver harp in the treasury. That is not a second silver harp.
Nope, it is
Like
a death
herb.
necklace. No. Oh,
Yeah, it looked like an herb. So yeah, he's gonna fill up on... Yeah, he's gonna fill up on herbs. Good move. And we're gonna see what's in this bottom right chest once this guard decides to vacate the area. And it is gold. That could be huge.
We have a grind.
Yep, let's see. He's gonna go stock up on more keys first.
You want to take the explanation about the bamboo pole, MTI?
Sure. We should probably explain the chest glitch. We call it the gold glitch. It's really more of a chest glitch in general. But very briefly, when you use the chest glitch to get items out of the chest as opposed to gold, for whatever reason, the game points at the wrong text string. And so what it claims you got in the chest will not always be what you actually got in the chest. In fact, oftentimes it will not be what you got. This is going to be the Staff of Rain, not the bamboo pole. And fun fact, if Braxis really chose to, he could acquire multiple Staves of Rain at this point, since he has the glitch activated. No reason to do so, but I just decided to try it in my race last night, and it worked. But the chest glitch... do you want to explain the chest glitch in general?
Yeah. So, when it comes to the memory of the game, it can only store up to 8 chests. Or the info that's in 8 chests. So, for this grind that Braxis just did, he opened 3 in the grave. So, when he dies, he goes back to the throne room, and when you go into the throne, there's already 3 chests open there. It's already read that there's 3 chests gone. So that's 6. You could open up 2 more chests in the treasury in Tantagel and be okay, but the next one will just repeat. And the runners usually do that for gold or herbs. And with the gold grind possible and very available in this seed, they could use that to grind up to 33,000 gold and buy themselves all three of the best weapons that money can buy, which is the flame sword, magic armor, and the silver shield. And that silver shield is key when fighting against the Dragon Lord. Because of how many defense power it gives you, it could make a physical Dragon Lord who would normally hit for a low of 35 or something, roll for as low as 25, so to speak.
That's right. So the reason the game kind of just shuffles off chests into memory as opposed to just getting rid of them is limitations of memory. I guess there's just not enough room to hold a value of collected or not collected for every single chest in the game. But also as a side effect, it helps to prevent soft locks, where if you have a full inventory, you grab a key item, such as the Stones of Sunlight would be the big one. Your inventory is full, you grab the Stones of Sunlight, the chest disappears. Oh no, your inventory's full. Do you want to give up the Stones of Sunlight? Oh, you do? Well, congratulations, now you can't beat the game. So, as a side effect of, or maybe possibly to prevent that situation, what the game does is it moves chests into this memory that says you already collected the chest. And when you go into the overworld, it clears out that memory, so the chest will reappear when you encounter it again. The reason the chest glitch works is a combination of when you die, you don't go back to the overworld, you go back to the throne room. And when you go back to the throne room, those three chests are basically moved back into the already collected memory. Because if they weren't, because of how the game is programmed, you'd just be able to grab keys over and over again, which would be super broken early on in the game.
Right. Meanwhile, we missed the fact that Demerine got to level 6. Looking at the stats, it is 2 health, 3 agility, looks like maybe 1 more strength, and a couple more magic points. But once again, no spells.
Yes, indeed. Demerine coming across a werewolf here. Gonna go back to the start.
Did not find any chests though, so the grind is a no.
Yeah, so with the HPMP build, that level was 1321, so yeah, not great. And one more thing, you'll note that even though the gold grind was active, Braxis Muse didn't get a lot of gold, which is actually not a bad play, because we haven't seen any towns nearby. And even if we had seen towns nearby, there's no guarantee that any or all of those nice items money can buy will actually be available in that town or in the seed at all. Because the shop contents, the weapon armor shop contents, have also been randomized. So generally you want to try to balance out how much gold you think you want with what you know is actually available. And what you think you can hold on to is also very important. Because when you die, you lose half your gold.
Meanwhile, Demerine is going back into the grave. I think she thinks this is Swamp Cave.
I don't know what she thinks it is, because she's clearly not walking the path that would get her from Swamp North to Swamp South or vice versa. She's gonna get
Oh, she found it now.
Yep. She's gonna get her magic keys and her corset for Spark over.
Yep. And now she's gonna run to a warlock and she's gonna fight it. And an excellent move to boot.
Crit the Warlock. That was a good crit. That was close to max damage. So a critical hit, you can, I believe it ignores defense, and you can hit for up to your attack power. That's how it works. So her attack power was 18, so a crit of 16. Pretty good.
Yep, meanwhile, Brax's Muse is gonna continue to fight some metal scorpions, but can't attack it consistently because of how low his strength is. I think you need like 20 attack power.
Access Muse looks like has used all of his herbs.
And there's the grind available for Demerine. Now, here's the question. Now, remind me, if she saves, does that save the info of the 6 chests, or does that go away?
She saves. If she saves and resets, I believe it would go away. I don't actually know.
Well, there it is.
Oh, there's the gold grind.
Yep. And the herb grind.
Yep. Gets the ARP. Gets the herb. That was... I think she might be calculating how much she's gonna fill up on herbs. That was a little scary. She hovered over that cursed belt. I thought she was actually gonna equip it there. By accident, but thankfully refraining from doing so.
Right, but there is a way to play this game that involves the Cursed Belt. It's called Cursed Princess. And what happens is you grind all the silver belts, and you grind all the Cursed Belts, to where when you rescue Graylin and bring her back to the castle, that she'll take a Cursed Belt. And she'll be cursed, and you win the game. We actually had a race like that, I think, a couple days ago.
Yes. That was great fun to watch. Another fun mode is Three's Company %, where instead of rescuing the princess, you extract her from the swamp cave and then bring her down to the Dragon Lord. And you accept the Dragon Lord's offer to win half the world, and you win the game that way. Demerine just making sure the Staff of Rain is in fact the Staff of Rain and not a bamboo pole.
And isn't going to go for the grind. I think she figures, I have not seen a town. I am not going to grind all the way up to 33,000.
Yeah, I think that's a smart move. That looks like maybe broadsword, large shield, half plate money, depending on what town she finds, if she finds a town. If she even wants to bother to try to hold on to this 4,000. And she didn't just pick a number knowing that a couple deaths are not going to affect it all that much.
Yeah, because even then, a hand axe will do just as good. And that's no fun to see a stone man.
Stone man, but we do have sleep, and stone men are not very resistant to sleep at all. I think it's a 1 in 16 resistance, or maybe 1 in 8.
Well, there's someone who's resistant to night, but night gets you put to sleep.
Knights hit hard, incidentally.
It's gotta be them gloves.
Raxus gonna chip shot, gonna punch the skeleton to death now, or try to.
Both of them look to be quite even in experience points. Just, Demerine is up by about 3.
Yeah, very close race so far. Overall, really.
Hey, we got a new subscriber with Twitch Prime Zmonic.
Yes, thank you.
Zmonic.
Thank you for subscribing to RPG Limit Break. We appreciate it.
Enjoy the emotes and the great action.
Yes, and as an aside, thank you to RPG Limit Break for allowing us the use of their channel to put on this race for you.
And it looks like Braxis Reuse did beat the Scorpion, so he's in good shape. And Demerine is gonna freely punch out some baby dragons.
Yep, we can take on this Poltergeist. Looks like it should be doable. Not quickly, but... especially since I believe Demerine still has her herbs she can tap into if need be.
Yeah, Demerine's got the full stack. Hopefully she is smart with them like how you would be smart with them in Resident Evil.
Attacking on... okay, she got away with that one. She's gonna keep attacking. Okay, wow, and she defeats the Poltergeist. Must have been counting hit points there.
Yep, and found a slime, so the search continues for a town. But a metal slime! This could be very interesting.
Metal Slime, and her strength is below 20, which means this Metal Slime is not going to run. Somewhat unfortunate they have hurt.
But the thing is, they do have a full packet of herbs, so it all just depends on the luck.
Yep. Can she hit it 3 times before her herb stack runs out? There's a hit, finally.
This is the slowest 3 count in history. I haven't seen a slower 3 count since a ref bump at WrestleMania. Meanwhile, Braxis Muse got to 7. 7 agility, 13 more hit points, and there is Hurtmore. But Demerine gets
Demerine defeats the Metal Slime. Also gonna go up to level 7. Getting 0 power! Oh, I love it!
You might like that, but she'll gladly take a level with 0 power for some Hurtmore.
Yes. Couple other very interesting spells here. Regular Heal is very nice, and the spell of Repel is somewhat less useful right now, but on the other hand, we are in Zoom mode with Hurtmore. So maybe Repel will turn out to be useful after all.
Yep, 6861, and get some outside.
I think Magi-Wyvern is a great find, this area here, for Demerine. Magi-Wyvern's basically being the... oh, also, another nice find. The town of Cantlin.
Very tucked away. So, with 2,400 in cash, so she could pick up, there's a large shield.
A magic armor and silver shield available if someone wants to gamble a gold grind and can hold on to that gold all the way up here.
Meanwhile, Braxis Muse finds Tablet Cave, and turns out all that's in there is a torch. 1,500, she has the broadsword money.
Is the broadsword money not going to pick it up, I guess, presuming Hurtmore is going to serve her well enough?
49 magic points, that's 9 Hurtmores. I could see where she's going with.
I can see the logic behind it. I might pick up the broadsword anyway, personally. More surprising is she grabbed no armor at all, even though there was just leather armor for sale there. I think I saw a half plate somewhere else.
And we do have search 16 north, 14 west. That is an easy count.
That sounds very countable, yes. You never know, but with the layout of the world the way it is, yeah, it's looking like a pretty straightforward count.
And Demerine is just gonna hurt more everything in sight.
Yes, absolutely. I think she sees the square. The question is, how is she going to get to it? Okay, there it is. That's not too bad. Go around Hawk's Nest. I believe it's right there. Oh, she's gonna leave us in suspense, I guess. Okay. And it's the fairy flute.
That ain't too bad because there's Hawksness right there, and she does have hurt more and 66 HP. So she could conceivably go in, defeat the spike tile, and get what she needs. More gold.
Yep, more gold. We have the slow grind, or the ghetto grind, as we sometimes like to call it, available here. Not as fast and efficient as setting up the chest glitch in the treasury. But if there's no glitch available, or if you're just looking for broadsword money, full plate money, it is a viable option to, if you happen to get randomized such that, you know, this chest contains gold, you can just repeatedly exit and re-enter.
That is true, and it looks like that patch of land does loop. It does circle around the castle, so that is interesting from that perspective. Braxis Muse runs into a werewolf, but doesn't have any magic, so has to go down.
Alright, so now we are back on the name influencing stats in the chat, and that is correct. Your name determines what your long-term stat focuses will be. And
By the way, 1 power, 11 agility, 10 hit points, 2 magic points at level 9 for Demerine2. That's a really nice boost.
So, if I may, the strength in this seed is abysmal. I'm pretty sure that's below what you get in the vanilla game at level 9. If I remember correctly, you have either 28 or 30 strength. The strength HP at level 9. Agility and HP looking pretty good, though. MP is okay.
Absolutely. So, now Braxis Muse is thinking, do I go into Hawk's Nest? And yeah, he is. He's going into Hawk's Nest. I think this is a really heads-up play. Find what's in that spike spot. If it's an Axe Knight or an Armor Knight, you can take a shot at it. If it's a blue, if it's anything else, you might want to hold off.
Even a blue dragon, I'd probably gamble. See if I can't hit the 25% chance of 2 straight Vertmores. It's an Armored Knight, very nice.
And Braxis Muse gets it. So, let's see what it is.
Search, and it's the armor. Wow.
That's big.
That is huge. And Braxis gonna go back here, just do a little mini grind here. I like this play, actually.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. As he can see, there's he can do it twice more, and not only that, he needed level 9.
Yes, indeed. Interesting to note, Demarine's still ahead on the experience count. pick up. And this is the tablet cave here. Take a look at what's here.
Well, we know what's there, and it's just a torch.
Okay.
The thing about it is Braxis Muse runs into an Axe Knight, and it fizzles!
That good old 1 in 16 chance, or whatever it is. It's a very small chance, I know that much.
We don't see it often, but when it happens, it hurts.
You might say it hurts more.
Boo this man. Demarine's gonna find out that it all loops, but Braxis Muse runs into an Armor Knight on the outside, so is gonna be able to pick up the 170-ish attack power, not the experience points for it.
Yep. 172 is the exact number. Which actually brings up an interesting point, that one of the quality of life improvements made in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer is that the enemy experience in gold has been adjusted so that, as much as possible, they match the values found in the subsequent remakes as opposed to NES/Famicom original. In layman's terms, you get a lot more experience in gold in the Randomizer than you do in the game.
Yeah, it's fixed to the point where it was in the Super Nintendo/Game Boy games.
Yes, the only exceptions there are where you run into the limitations of the NES, where the experience values for enemies and gold values are stored in 8-bit numbers, so the maximum an enemy can give is 255. One example where this is a issue is actually the Fun Police. In the remakes, they actually give 300 experience, but in this, they only give the maximum the number can hold, which is 255.
By the way, Demerine gets to level 10, and it has Heal More.
Very nice.
So that makes that Armored Knight Spark tile a lot more bearable.
Yeah, this Armored Knight's days are numbered. Plenty of HP. Plenty of MP. Both more spells.
Meanwhile, Braxis Muse gets to level 10 himself and finds a new cave.
Demerine picking up her armor. And Braxis finding the jerk. Point out, we call that guy the jerk because if you try to talk to him without having the required items for him to bequeath upon you the rainbow drop, he acts like a jerk. And depending on what items you do and don't have, he can actually just kick you right out of the cave.
Jerk man! Wield stone you as fast as you can. Give him the items! Alright, that's bad. Even for me, that was bad.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even sure what you were going for there.
Riff on the old stone man thing. Demerine gets level 11, 1, 7, 5, and 5. Braxis Muse finds Garanham. That's gonna be big. He could open up those 3 chests there in the back half of Garanham and possibly find Erdrick's sword.
Yes, Erdrick's sword, I would say very important item, technically not required to be the game. A very heads-up play here, selling the cursed belt for an extra 180 gold. Also freeing up an inventory slot for something like another torch. Maybe the fighter's ring if he finds it.
I'll have to say, Demarine's agility is looking really good right now at level 11. 64 agility. She, as we've seen, has been able to run away from quite a few high-level, Sherlock-level enemies.
Yeah, her agility already into the orange zone, which is pretty amazing given that she's not even running an agility build. To briefly explain the orange tint, as your stats climb, you'll start seeing them change from white to orange to green. And orange means that particular stat is kind of, sort of, maybe ready to try and defeat the Dragon Lord. I like to call it context sensitive, depends on what your other stats are looking like. Obviously, in this case, she's still nowhere near being ready. 64 agility by itself is not going to cut much of anything. But orange is the context sensitive. Green means that stat is good to go on its own. And you're really looking for strength, HP. Strength, HP, MP. Agility is frankly the least important stat, though it can be important. More so, I would say, on the dive down to the Dragon Lord.
Interesting. Back half of Garenham is South Swamp. Or Swamp South. So, and also in the back half of Garenham, 3 gold chests. Which, is a good, grind ability.
Abraxas checking the Sparkover Bridge. Validating the run. Unfortunately, not going to find anything.
And Demerine runs into another Metal Slime, gets 1 hit on it, but decides to nope out. But does find 2 more places. One of them is Breckenary, but could probably...
I imagine, for a weapon, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a hand axe, broadsword would be nice. Nope.
There's a flame sword.
So we did see a cave above the town of Breckenary, and we know what it is, and that is going to be Mountain Cave. That is something that, by the looks of things, you do need to grind. You do need to go in there and maybe try to find your Stones of Sunlight or Erdrick Stone.
Yeah, although we've also not seen the bottom 2 chests in the grave. So, could be something there. Could be something in the single chest in Rimmeldar as well. That's one I think people tend to forget.
Yeah, the Rimmeldar chest, Tablet Cave chest, those are some that people do gamble on by skipping out on, because more often than not, they're not there. And there's Demerine, gonna take care of Mountain Cave.
See what's in here. Slime, not gonna be an issue. Gonna run away from that.
She does have a stockpile of Hurtmore for enemies like that Wolf Lord.
Indeed. Oh, almost misses the top chest there, but looks like she doubled back for it.
Her HP is already at 91, which is kind of insane. This could be a seed where Death Necklace will come into play. I have a feeling it will come into play. And there's a Fighter's Ring. And
The
Brax
Fighter's Ring is very nice at this point. Fighter's Ring... In the vanilla game, the Fighter's Ring is bugged. It does absolutely nothing. You can sell it for like 100 gold. In the randomizer, they restored its intended functionality, which is it gives you a small boost to your attack power. It's an extra 2 attack power, which in the right situation can actually be very useful. Praxis is going to pick up a broadsword here in Cantlin. And he'll be going to get his coordinates. Maybe not. No, going back in. Okay, probably refilling resources and then gonna go get the coordinates.
Meanwhile, Demerine does find these Magiwyverns, and I have a feeling that after she gets all 5 chests, she's probably gonna die and do a gold grind, because she has seen Silver Shields, and one is really close in Cantlin.
A Silver Shield and a Flame Sword, although the Flame Sword is less important with the Hurtmore available.
It all depends what's in this chest right here.
And empty, so that was either a key or an error.
Yeah, so if I'm Demerine, I run into a red dragon and have him kill me.
Yep, I just try to punch things as much as I can. This Droll Magi, punching a Droll Magi for 2. So this Droll Magi may well work. Well. Or she can excellent move it for 19, that also works.
This might be one of those instances where you just hurt more. Yeah, she's gonna hurt more the Droll Magi and then try to fight. Well, Magi Wyvern's good.
There we go. Magi Wyvern's hit pretty hard. Something else she could have done, although I don't blame her for not doing it, is, given that she had hurt more, she could have just used that on high-level enemies and just done a little kind of mini grind, run out the MP stack, then Death Orb. But seeing the Magi Wyvern, I imagine she wants to get her gold grind on, so I don't mind this play at all.
Nope, and she knows where Caitlyn is, so she is gonna just grind up her gold. She's got the armor already, so she's gonna probably grind up to 25,000. That'll be enough for the Silver Shield and the Flame Sword, both of which are in Caitlyn.
I know we've seen the Silver Shield there. I don't know if we saw a Flame Sword, actually, but maybe we did. We saw one in Brecconary, definitely. And while she is getting her gold grind on, we've discussed the Death Necklace, and in the vanilla game it curses you and does nothing else. It basically does the same thing as the Cursed Belt, except it's a lot more rare. In the Randomizer, McGrew, the creator of the Dragon Warrior Randomizer, who's in the chat, everybody say hi McGrew. Everybody thank McGrew. But I'm digressing here. The Randomizer, the necklace was given some additional functionality. It gives you an additional 10 attack power at the cost of 25% of your maximum HP. And so one of the big strategic decisions is when/if to put on the Death Necklace in a seed.
Absolutely, and while we got some gold grindage going, why don't you give these two racers a follow? Demerine2, Praxis Muse, both ace runners, both of them 2-2, fighting for their playoff lives. So give them a follow, show your support, and while you're doing that, also give a follow to our wonderful people behind the scenes, CyberDark86, who is our tracker, CD Improv, who is our wonderful, beautiful, amazing restreamer, and of course, the two schlubs that you see calling the action, or hearing calling the action, MTI and sigmafan.
Yes, I will always take your follows. So we're about an hour in, and a brief recap of the key items that we found so far. The Silver Harp was in the... Silver Harp, I believe, was in the Tanagel Treasury.
Yep, and Silver Harp Cave was underneath it.
That was the Tanagel basement. Erdrick's armor was found in Hawksness. The Fairy Flute was found on the Overworld. And there were some keys available also in the top of the grave. Fire's Ring was in the top floor of Mountain Cave. And I believe the Death Necklace was also in the Treasury. No, it was actually at the start. It was in the Throne Room.
Yep. Meanwhile, Demerine gets 2 hits on the Metal Slime, but Metal Slime runs away. But here's Demerine2 going to Caitlyn and going to get the goods. Going to get her Silver Shield.
And yes, I think you're right. I think she did see a flame sword, or at least she definitely saw at least a broadsword here. I don't remember if there was also a flame sword available for purchase. We'll find out, I guess.
There's also that third store.
Yeah, the third shop. I wonder if she's gonna go check this. She's gonna try. This guard, NPCs, the true final boss of Dragon Warrior Randomizer. Unfortunately, no flame sword there.
Nope, but she does know where one is, though.
Yes, he has seen one. Let's see if she goes and grabs that, or just doesn't even bother giving.
So there are 3 chests we have not seen yet that are available right now. The 2 that are in the bottom of the grave, and 1 that is in Rimeldar. That is it. We also haven't seen coal yet. So we don't know if the token is there, or if it's one of the 3 chests. We also don't know where the sword is. We also don't know where the Stones of Sunlight are. Stones of Sunlight has to be in one of those 3 chests. So I would make a play for... You gotta make a play for Rimeldar, the Grave, or Cole. And if I'm these racers, knowing this, especially Demerine, who found Mountain Cave and cleared it, I'm of the mind maybe I go back into the Grave. I'm at a high level, and make some hay there.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, and she's in Swamp North. And she opts to just continue exploring. So does that mean this is actually all one big con?
It's quite possible. Green dragons have heal more. That is pretty nasty.
On the other hand, I do like Braxis's chip shot there for 4 damage, killing the green dragon. That's always fun.
Saves it hurt more.
It does, but yes, continuing my previous point before I interrupted myself, yeah, I agree with you. Since you have kind of since we're still looking for at least 2 key items, and since you know where 2 of the chests are, they're in the grave, I think that's the high percentage play at this point. There's a very good chance. In fact, no, I won't say that. But there's a very good chance that at least one of the key items, if not both of them, are going to be in the grave.
Yep, and as we just found out, Green Dragons has more, but Braxis Muse goes to 12, 12, 12. 11 power, 7 speed, 5 hit points, and it looked like 5 magic points, but Braxis Muse finds coal. This could be very important. Now we get to find out if the token is here.
And it is, wow. That's a big find, especially since I think an hour in, not seeing neither of our runners had seen coal to this point. Neither have seen Rimeldar. I feel like they both have to think they're behind at this point. I don't think they realize just how close this actually is.
Yep, and meanwhile, Demerine looks to be... Yeah, I would too. Meanwhile, Demerine looks to be near Breckenary. But does it... Hits hurt more, but then hits her to chip shot that last damage, because Demerine does not have a sword either. 13 power, 7 speed, 5 hit points, 2 magic points. This is where having the strength hit points build comes in. Now, Demerine now jumps back into Breckenary, as you mentioned earlier, does have the flame sword.
Yes, indeed. The flame sword will be very helpful. Will allow her to not have to resort to hurt to chip shot things now. That is an additional 28 attack power, so almost doubling her fighting ability there. So I like the pseudo last refuge layout there of the town in the cave. In Dragon Warrior 4, there is the ending of the last cave before kind of the final area. Directly adjacent to it is an area called the Last Refuge. It is literally on the square next to it. But they are both the same style of tile. So if you're not paying close attention and you're not like, wait, hold on, why are there 2 of them there? It is very easy to just miss the Last Refuge. The Mexican runner, in doing his NES Mania, actually finished Dragon Warrior 4 without ever discovering the last refuge, which is not the easiest thing to do.
And it looks like Braxis Muse now has found the mountain cave. He's gonna be disappointed because stones are not here. And I have a feeling when Braxis Muse finds out that it's not here, he is going to probably jump back into Garen's grave and dive the bottom half of that. Because that's where I'm thinking the stones are.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to know for sure, but that is the percentage play at this point. There are only 3 chests left it can be in. So I would go with given the choice between going after 2 chests where I know where they are and the 1 chest where I still don't know where it is, I'm going to go for the 2 where I know where they are.
By the way, question for you from Lord of the Synth. 41 strength at level 12. Do you even love it?
That depends on how many 0 power level ups we took to get to that point. Was it 10 zeros and then 1, like, 35 strength? If so, I love it! But if
it wasn't, so you don't.
Like, yes, otherwise, if it was just a series of, like, 1s and 2s and 3s, then no, I do not, in fact, love it. Demerine finding.
Well, now we have a race. Demerine finds coal. Sorry that I interrupted you. And I have a feeling Demerine is going to jump into the grave.
She discovers a token. Imagine she's gonna recast Repel, refill her resources here, and then, yeah, I would think she's going to the grave. So I would say Demerine with the exploration advantage. Well, this brings up an interesting point. I do not believe, among things we haven't found, I don't think we've seen Charlock yet, have we?
No, we haven't, and that could be a bit worrying. We also have not seen Remolder, but it's a case of 2 chests in the bottom of the grave to 1 in Rimuldar. You always go to the grave.
Right, we know where the grave is. Our runners know where the grave is. We do not know where Rimuldar is yet.
You ever have theme songs stuck in your head?
Sometimes, yes. I get songs stuck in my head frequently.
I have a theme song from an old 90s Nickelodeon show stuck in my head. Have you ever heard of Space Cases?
Yes! With Walter Jones, who's one of the main characters. He blew up Power Ranger.
Yep, and Rebecca Herbst, who is on General Hospital right now.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know. Demerine finding out the bad news that Green Dragons have heal more. So gonna gonna take the other route. The chip shot then hurt more. Just guarantee it never gets in the heal more range.
Yep, and you don't have to worry about having a stop spell miss. And that's the play I want to see more runners take. Chip shot, then hurt more. Meanwhile, 13, 6, 9, 3, and a new spell of return. That is big for Demerine.
Nice. Yep, that means you don't have to be taking the Walk of Shame back. But in response to the question in chat, 0 power! I love it!
Yes, the theme song is awesome. Once upon a time, in a school in outer space, there was a class of misfit kids from all around the place. Snuck aboard a mystery ship. They sailed into a spatial rift, and now they're on a long space trip. Harlan Ban leaps before he looks. Susie's got... I fucked it. Oh, I screwed it up.
I'll be honest, the only part of the theme song I remember is the very end. There's space.
Cases.
Alright, meanwhile, runners doing some exploration, which is... I wonder if they're just trying to use up their MP stack. Maybe just because they haven't explored
I think so.
the world. Because otherwise, I'm with you. I would be diving grave right now.
Demerine finds a spark overbridge, decided, C's validated enough.
I think that might have been the same one she checked earlier.
So if I remember the lyrics, it's Harlan Ban leaps before he looks, Susie's smarter than a million books, Radu is really super strong, Robot Thelma functions wrong.
Like I said, I have no idea, so you're kind of on your own on this one.
Gee, thanks. And Demerine runs into a red dragon and decides, now gonna jump into the grave.
I would think that's what she's thinking.
I'm looking at everything, and the best grind right now is Armor Knight. But she's going away from the grave. Do you think she's gonna be going to Rimeldar, trying to find that?
I don't know. Maybe she thinks there's some other nook or cranny she hasn't explored? Maybe she... I was gonna say maybe she's going to Hawksnest? Maybe she is... Maybe she is still trying to find Rimeldar? I hope she didn't forget that she hasn't checked those last two chests yet.
Northwest of Hawksnest is where she's going. I don't know. None of our runners went there because it's covered in swamp.
I don't think we've seen anything here, yeah. Was that swamp north there? That's the Jerk Cave. Okay, we have seen this.
I don't think Demerine has, though.
I don't think Demerine had. I think you're right. And otherwise, that leads nowhere. So it's useful information for her.
You gotta love the sports ball talk in the chat.
Reminder that fantasy football is just Dungeons and Dragons for bros.
Don't remind me I have 2 drafts on September 1st.
I rest my case.
But I'm not a bro.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Demerine and Braxis Muse are on the same wavelength, thinking, where is Rimeldar? Did any of our runners ever explore the exit of South Swamp?
Exit of South Swamp was Garenham, if I recall correctly.
Oh yeah, that is right.
Question in chat, have we seen Free Stuff Cave? Yes, we have. That was gold. And the other...
Meanwhile, Braxis Fuse has found something.
Ooh.
Scaring him.
And to the west of Garenham, there it is. There's Rimildar.
Braxis is looking for Erdrick's sword or the stones. It's got to be one of the two.
It is the sword. Wow.
Clutch pull by Braxis. Now he knows the stones are in the grave.
That could be huge, because, as we mentioned before, the smart play is...
Oh, there's Sherlock right down there.
Oh, right down there. Okay. So, I would say Braxis Muse definitely with the advantage knows the stones are engraved. And that could be huge, because if Demerine doesn't find Rimildar, well...
Oh, but no torch.
And no Radiant, that's right. Not learned Radiant yet. Not gonna find a torch in Hawk's Nest, but I guess Braxis just deciding, let's get part of my grind out of the way here.
Meanwhile, Demerine goes into the grave and is going to get the stones, but doesn't have the sword.
Not gonna get the sword, which, as we mentioned before, the smart play would be to check the two chests here, and once she does that, once she finds the stones, I don't think she's gonna bother trying to check Rimildar, because at that point you're gonna say, well, it's either it's either one chest where I don't know where it is, or it's somewhere in Charlock, where there are 7 chests. One thing that might save her is that Rimildar and Garenham and Charlock all kind of in the same region, so she might still somehow stumble into Rimildar prior to making the Charlock dive.
That is true, and what also might help her out a bit is that she'll get the stones first, and she just saw where the Jerk Cave is. And it's kind of a path towards Jerk, Rimildar, Garenham, Rimildar. But Demerine is just gonna run from everything, and it looks like the stones are where the Silver Harp was.
Yeah, it looks like the deepest part of Grave.
But Braxis dies in Hawk's Nest. I don't think a torch was in the treasury. And he's got a lot of fairy water.
No, I think it was gold, herbs. Oh, maybe, yeah, gold, herbs, the death necklace, and more gold. And yeah, he realizes at the last second going buying more keys. Probably a smart play.
Yep, and don't remind me, Lord of the Descent, I live in Seattle. Well, Tacoma, it's an offshoot, but you get the idea. There's Braxis. He's just gonna dark walk it.
Yeah, I'm always impressed with runners who can dark walk caves other than swamp, because I certainly can't do it. I might be able to do the first floor in Charlock if I get down to the not the one that's lit, I guess the first basement. Is what you'd call it. Once I get to the second basement, there's no chance.
Yep, and Demerine is gonna go recharge her MP, go to the Jerk, get her drop, And now she's got to find out what she wants to do. Does she want to grind, or does she want to try to find? Well, I would grind first. Well, I take that back. I think she know what I'm gonna do. I grind, and you got a good grind right near you in Hawk's Nest at the Armor Knight.
Right. I don't know if I would do that right now, but it's not a bad play since you're gonna have to grind anyway. Depending on what my stats are, what I need, if I... Question from chat, has Demerine seen Charlock? No. I'm not sure she's even seen that whole portion of the map, that whole Garenham, Rimmeldar area that also has Charlock in it.
No, but she's gonna turn in her things to the jerk first.
Level 14 for Braxis, 8, 2, 8, and 1. Yeah, I don't
with
know
Radiant.
Thing right now, CD and Prov, but one thing I was gonna say is if I know I need levels and I know I'm still looking for the sword, I am a fan of trying to kind of get both out of the way at once and just do some fighting in Charlock while I try to make my way down to either the treasury or, if I'm feeling particularly frisky, vanilla and then the treasury.
But it looks like Demarine's not going to do that and is just going to grind in Sherlock, which is still a good play because of what's there.
Yeah. Going to grind in Hawk's Nest, I guess. Yeah, very juicy grind here with the Lord.
And another reason why I like this is that the Armor Knight's attacks are really dulled because you have Erdrick's armor and you have the Silver Shield. Meanwhile, if Braxis decides he wants to grind on the Armor Knight, he's going to have a little bit more problems because he does have the large shield, which is not as good as the Silver Shield, and he's going to be feeling a little bit more pain.
Yep, the Silver Shield is a 10 defense point improvement over the large shield. So it really is nice if you can set up the situation to get the gold for it.
Ali Grab, the sword was in Rimmeldar. That one chest that everybody likes to forget. That's where it was.
Braxis dropping. Braxis not gonna set up a gold grind. Braxis just outsiding. Gonna... Okay, I don't quite know what that was. Presume they're gonna restock resources? No? Okay. Okay, gonna take the roundabout way to get to the Jerk Cave, I guess.
Yes, insert your JoJo Bizarre Avenger memes here. And that's not the Jerk Cave.
That's not the Jerk! Nope. Also, just as an aside, since you mentioned JoJo's Bizarre Adventure memes, yes, Roundabout is the JoJo meme, but if that's all you know of the band, yes, you are missing out. In particular, their early 1970s run, starting with the Yes album and going through Close to the Edge, is, in my opinion, one of the greatest 3 album runs by a band ever. As a bonus, the middle album, Fragile, is the one with Roundabout on it. 3 meme words out there. So there's that.
Yeah, I have the greatest hits. I have the greatest hits CD I'm having trouble finding the other Yes albums. I think I need to go to my local records. The Rainy Day Records in Olympia, I think, has a 70 section where I could probably luck into finding some Yes albums for 99 cents. But I also have one of their last albums, Big Generator, which isn't that bad for later Yes.
Yeah, the old 80s Yes.
'70s Yes is known for Roundabout. '80s Yes is known for Owner of a Lonely Heart.
Yeah, those are the two songs you're likely to have heard by Yes. Maybe I've Seen All Good People, if your classic rock radio station plays that one.
Yeah, that's another one. There's Braxis. Braxis found the drop.
Yeah, he's found the Jura Cave. Unfortunately, not ready to defeat the Dragon Lord yet. Among other things, his 91 attack power means he would be doing between 0 and 1 damage per attack. The Dragon Lord 2.
Not even that. Because you gotta take away 100. And wouldn't even get a hit off.
I think 0 to 1 is supposed to be kind of the minimum damage, although there are some holes in that formula. Particularly at the very start of the game. Where if you have, I think it's 5 strength, you actually have less than a 50% chance to fade Reiki.
So we're seeing two different styles of grind. Because, well, I thought Braxis was gonna jump into Swamp and see what was down there. But Demerine goes into level 15, 4, 1, 7, and 10, and it's just gonna continue grinding until the Armor Knight sends her back to Tantagel. Braxis Muse now goes into Hawk's Nest and is gonna do the grind there.
Shay Wolf in chat, by 1 you mean 0. It's actually possible to just not damage certain bosses at all in certain situations in Lagoon. Lagoon is a well-programmed game.
So Demerine is trying to find Rimuldar. We have an idea where it is. It's west of Garanum.
Okay, also, has she stumbled on Charlock yet? That might be what she's looking for, although I hope she finds Rimuldar, for the obvious reasons.
Well, judging by where you walk and the way that Braxis did it, you find Rimuldar, you find Charlock. You find them both.
Right, you kind of find them both. Yeah, all three of those things, Rimuldar, Charlock, Garenham, both kind of at or near the north edge of the map.
So, I wonder if Demerine might go the other side of... try to find Swamp Cave and go on the other side.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because that'd be one way to do it.
Right, yep. And yes, that looks like what she's doing. Yeah, now that she has the levels and the equipment, this should be no problem.
The only thing she's missing is the strength.
Yeah, well, boy howdy is she missing the strength.
But what I've said, like 20 minutes or so ago, might come to pass. This could be a Death Necklace seed, and probably will be a Death Necklace seed.
Yeah, it really depends on what the stat ups are from here on out. We have seen some very strange and sudden changes in direction in stat growths in Dragon Warrior Randomizer seeds, but yes, the way it is trending, it is looking very much like a Death Necklace seed.
Okay, finds the back half of Garanum, and I think she never found the back. She never went into Garanum.
I don't think she's found Garanham. I think this is her first time seeing it, yeah. And instead of using a key, she's just gonna walk out here. Yep. Probably go back in. And I really hope she goes left from here.
Well, she also... Oh, no!
Getting blocked by the NPC. And she does, if she finds her
Yep, there's the town.
We have a race, folks. She's gonna be pretty happy with this find, I would think.
I wouldn't even bother getting keys, because you have no use for keys anymore.
You don't really have a use for keys, but I like to keep some on hand anyway. But you're right, at this point, she has everything she needs. She has no reason to check the treasury. She has the Death Necklace, she has the Fighter's Ring. There's nothing in there that could be useful.
She's gonna throw Repel on, she's gonna walk south, and
boom.
find Sharlock.
Here's Sharlock.
Yeah, she's gonna realize she's nowhere near ready.
Right, the best she can hope to do if she opts to even dive Sharlock is just try to get some information, see what our endgame monsters are, what nasty abilities they have, if anything, so she knows what she should be saving up for resource-wise to try and make it down.
Looks like that's what she's doing. Meanwhile, Braxis is diving swamp, seeing what's in the spike tile.
And it's a golem.
Ah, that might be the best. That is the best grind. But with this attack, though, I don't.
It depends on what the golem has ability-wise, I would say. Because something like Hurt, or if it just stays asleep for 7 rounds at a time, that also works. But if it has something like Hurt, yes, I agree with you, especially since Garanham is right there.
Nope, punchy.
Nope. We have, it has the ability to punch you. And it punches you hard. So...
Now, Demerine can do that grind and be more okay than Braxis because she's got the extra defense because of the Silver Shield.
Right, the Silver Shield, and she has a little bit more strength because of the strength HP build versus the HP MP. This is working out, at the risk of commentator's curse, this is working out okay for Braxis so far. I think the main advantage of this grind is that it is close to... You can just pop out of the south side of the cave, and you're in Garanham, and you can refill your resources if you have keys. Or if you just don't, or if you have a key and you don't go back into the overworld.
And that's what Demerine is doing as well. Demerine is going to go to the spike spot here, find it's a golem, and I think we have a race.
Yeah, and this is close. They're about 100 experience apart after Demerine kills that werewolf.
No, it would not be faster. Because you could run into a red dragon, which you're even less equipped to be okay from than a golem.
I seem to have... Demarine's stream seems to have frozen on my end. I don't know if anyone else is seeing that.
That's happening on my end, too.
Okay, it looks like it just kicked back into gear here. But yeah, I do think in general people tend to underestimate just how efficient spike tile grinds actually are. Even if it's something that seems like it should be slow, just the fact that you are constantly fighting something. And in the case of the golem, even if it's taking a while per kill, you're getting a ton of experience. You're getting literally as much as you can get per kill. That tends to balance out.
This is interesting. Demerine is going to nope out and looks like going to go back to Hogsnest and grind on the Armored Knights.
Yeah. This is going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. So I think the big thing here is the fact that Demerine is going to be using a lot more MP, presumably, but on the other hand, Braxis is, besides the fact that a golem kill is just naturally slow, he is making it even slower by using the Fairy Flute. Which is not a bad play in itself, but every time he uses it, that's another 8 seconds. That he has to hear that lovely melodious Fairy Flute.
Right, but it's also a MP saver. And he's got more MP to drag it out longer because of it.
That is true. He does have now an extra heal more, an extra hurt more compared to Demerine. Question in chat.
Did you see that on Demarine's stream? It looked really weird.
It froze up for me again for a bit. So question in chat, what monster set does the spike tile use? It can be one of 6 monsters. The Golem, the Stone Man, the Axe Knight, the Armored Knight, the Blue Dragon, or the Red Dragon. While Ranium in chat has it correct.
Look how close these runners are. 9140 for Demerine, 9393 for Braxis Muse.
Yeah, this is looking... This might come down to the builds. It might come down to strength versus MP. And Demerine gonna finish out her resources here. Maybe hoping for that critical hit. Doesn't get it.
I don't think even with the critical hit she would have got it.
Depends on the critical hit. Meanwhile, Braxis reaching level 16. 5 power, 0 agility! Oh, I love it!
2 hit points, 12 magic, and he is at 100 on the dot.
Yep. So interestingly, still trending toward Death Necklace, but we are not there yet. You generally want to have a minimum of 97 hit points before you go take on the Dragon Lord. The thinking being that will allow you to survive 2 max damage fire breaths. You can do fire breath from the Dragon Lord, can do a maximum of 48 damage. The issue is with the Death Necklace, you want to have at least 129 hit points in order to, after the Death Necklace, have that 97 HP. So 122 is less than 120. You could put it on here, but it would not be a great idea.
No, because it wouldn't matter that much in the long run, and plus you're gonna take on average 1 to 2 hits be able to tank 1 or 2 hits less. So it would just rather be worth it. You have the HP until you get to around. I remember a seed like this where we had to go to levels 21 in order for it to be feasible to beat Sherlock. But the runner grinded all the way to where they had 130, 140 HP, then threw on the Death Necklace and went back to the grind. So it was just like a small reset.
Yes, incidentally, that runner was me. So, I am well familiar with that strategy. That was a rare instance. I think I've done it one other time in a seed where I've actually put on the Death Necklace before going down to the Dragon. And it was a very similar situation where there was just so much HP so early on that it was just an obvious play to, let's just throw it on and go from there. Incidentally, it turned out I botched the math in my seed. I probably could have gone at 20. Or if not, it was close enough that I probably should have made the gamble, what with my playoff life on the line and all. But I looked
Didn't matter, you still won.
Yeah. Looked at it and I was like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. My math was wrong on multiple counts. But it worked out for me in the end.
Yep, meanwhile, Braxis Muse, Miss Maths and is sent back to Tantagel. So, long walk back to Garanum.
Yeah, that's a bit of a walk. Though I guess we'll see now. See now if this actually is a single continent. I believe it is.
And by the way, that death is allowing Demerine2 to take the XP lead.
Pyroman's saying might consider going to Hawks to get gold. I would not do it just for getting gold. It might turn out to be the better grind anyway, but if it is, it's not because of the gold, because Braxis still needs 11,000 or so gold to be able to afford the Silver Shield. And Armored Knights, the gold to experience ratio actually not great. You get more experience from them than you do gold, which means you are probably, although with the strength trending the way it is, you might get that 11,000 gold off of Armored Knights at this rate.
Yep, and it looks like Braxis is just going to go back to grinding on the golems. And Demerine is going to finish off that one fight and just Death Roar back to Tantagel. And Demerine gets hit with the perfect bid. Once again, give these racers a follow. Demerine2, Braxis Muse fighting for their tournament lives. They appreciate all the support that you give them inside and outside of this tournament. They have put on some really great races. Demerine2 almost beat Nest Cardinality earlier, I think in week 4. Braxis Muse has been a pretty darn good runner in his own right as well. And also follow our wonderful staff, follow our restreamer CD Improv, follow our wonderful tracker CyberDark86, and follow MTI. He loves it! And follow me, sigmafan, because you love the people, you love the volunteers that help make this tournament go.
Yes, indeed.
And your wonderful casters and restreamers.
Yes, all the people behind the scenes helping make this happen. And on that note, you should also follow the RPG Limit Break channel if you're not doing so already. Thanks to them for allowing the use of the channel for us to put on this race. And of course, again, thanks to McGrew, who you should also be following for creating the randomizer.
So Demerine almost at 17, which is at 12,000. If there is a big rush of strength, like if it's 18, 19 strength, she's gonna have a decision to make. And big thanks to Twan22 now following... Wait, is Twan22 following us or following Braxton?
Well, thanks to them anyway. We did say to follow our wonderful runners, so...
Makes a lot of sense. Okay, here is 17 for Demerine.
1 power!
Nope, not even close.
To 19, though. I still don't think... That still does not get her all that close, but that extra MP could come in very handy later on.
Yep, and Braxis Muse will get more of it.
Yes, indeed.
That's not going to be helpful for Braxis. The Red Dragon can't put that to
Please
sleep.
making an appearance here. Gets the critical hit. Wow.
Everything's coming up Braxis.
Yep, 1, 2, 2, 21 MP for Praxis that level.
Yes, so he's going to be able to grind on these golems a lot more longer now. But both of these grinds have their positives and negatives, even though Armor Knight is more magic heavy, just because of how they are. But golems are really time sucks.
Yeah, it actually looks like so far the gap has remained fairly steady, maybe a tiny bit faster for them.
Yeah, but you also have all those deaths that Demerine has, but those deaths are around the same amount of time it takes Braxis to walk all the way back from Tantagel to the Swamp Cave.
That is true. So you mentioned the experience threshold for level 17 being 12,000, which is actually another quality of life option in the randomizer. You can adjust the experience required for a level up to 75% or even 50% of the vanilla game. And what you're seeing here is kind of the standard racing flag set, and in that we actually use the 75% requirements. In the vanilla game, it would be 16,000 to get to 17. Yes, that is true. McGrew saying you can even make it random. That was a part of what used to be called the Chaos Mode, where you could essentially make it so that all bets were off, and you just laughed at everything the game threw at you. Those options have been broken up into individual flags in some of the randomizer.
Right, because the opposite is crying. So the grind to 18 is on.
Yep, going to at least 18 and possibly beyond, depending on what we get for level ups here.
Yep. by the way, as I mentioned last night, they are reviving Supermarket Sweep.
Yeah, I have to say it's a little bit disappointing that we won't get to play the pyramid this go around. Since we have all the items we could possibly want, no reason for either runner to check the treasury.
Four places are bidding for it: ABC, NBC, Fox, and Netflix. And Leslie Jones is not only executive producing the show, she is hosting, so she's got some skin in the game. She was a fan from back in the day, so I have high hopes for this one.
Very cool. Meanwhile, yeah, it looks like the Armored Knight grind is, in fact, going slightly faster here. Demerine's lead is increasing slowly, but it is increasing. It's now about, depending on when you check, between about 800 and 1,000 experience.
And this will be level 18.
Yep, I believe this Armored Knight will get that for her.
Alright, let's see what it is.
2 power!
2 power!
13
But
HP
13 hit points. That's...
That makes...
Now when you're
obvious
grinding,
death
you can
necklace.
start throwing the net. Yeah.
Yep. But not yet, because she's doing very well just, you know, using her magic on this Armored Knight. Gonna try the attack, then hurt more strats, or hurt more than attack strats. Now, with her attack power starting to climb slowly. Armored Knights are pretty beefy, so... There are situations where if I'm gonna do that, I might attack, then hurt more, just to see if I get the critical hit and can one-shot it. But, looks like she's just gonna actually go back to the double hurt more strats here.
And Death Ward between cycles, not pass between towns. It's not an issue. Yeah, that would be an issue if you are a curse, because the nearest town is Cantlin, and that's quite a bit of a walk. So I think not throwing the Death Necklace on is a good idea.
Right, so we mentioned that you become cursed when you equip the Curse Belt or the Death Necklace, but I don't think we ever actually discussed what that entails. What that means is, normally when you die, the king is like, oh no, you died, you shouldn't have done that. And he refills your resources. He refills your HP and your MP. When you die and you are cursed, instead, he refills... I'm not even sure he refills your HP. You might get restored with 1. But regardless, he does not refill your MP. You resurrect with whatever MP you had when you died. And he says, you have failed, and, well, let me do the Dragon Quest, medieval English here. Thou hast failed, and thou art cursed. Get out! And he just kicks you out of the castle. So you can't save your game, not in a speedrun situation, that's that important. But you don't get your MP back, so, yeah, So at this point, Demerine would resurrect if she were cursed with 1 and 1, and would have to try to find a town to restore her magic points.
So is the king actually a descendant of Gordon Ramsay?
It's rotten!
You're rotten, you donkey!
We went into Mike Myers as Shrek there. Okay.
It's raw! It's raw, you donkey!
Alright. In any event, Praxis hits level 18, immediately continues to grind. Now, we mentioned that Demerine, not a good idea for her to use the Death Necklace right now. The interesting one, as people have brought up in chat, is Braxis, because he has access to an inn right now, as long as he doesn't die. If he does, then obviously he would regard that as a mistake. But he could go right, he could just exit the Swamp Cave, go use the inn at Garanham, and recommence his grind.
And the benefit for Demerine in Hoxus is there are Axe Knights in there too, and one hurt more gone.
Yeah, very likely to kill an Axe Knight with one hurt more. Not guaranteed, but very likely, given the overall HP distribution they can have and the damage range of hurt more.
Yep. And with her strength now at 107, she's now, and we said earlier, able to do hurt more than swing strats, and that's going to save a lot of time.
Yeah, it looks like she's swinging if she rolls high on the hurt more. Noting in chat that this game casually is rough. Yes, the vanilla version especially. It is a slog in vanilla. Very influential game. Love that it basically invented the JRPG. However, I am extremely glad for the quality of life improvements in the randomizer and in some of the remakes. Can you imagine how this would be if you needed the vanilla experience and got vanilla values from these enemies? We'd be here for like 4 hours just watching these two grinding golems and armored knights. You wouldn't grind a golem in that case, because the golem in the vanilla game gives you 5 experience.
You'd be grinding Hawk's Nest then.
Yeah.
Well, here's 19.
Alright, 8 power, 6, 1 hit point, another 15 magic points. Is it 115? 15 Gilmores. That's go time.
With Death Necklace, yeah, I could see it going, but I also don't mind if she grinds to 19.5.
I think she's trying to do the math now.
Yeah, she's going to 19.5.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good point brought up in the chat. Because Braxis is running an HP MP build.
Oh, he is.
He can't go.
No. That extra, yeah, that's not enough MP. That's not enough extra MP, I should say, to make up for the lack of strength.
No, because his strength will probably only be like 7 off of that level, so he'll only be at 110.
Right. So that's alright. I'm gonna take a moment to do some math here. Be right back.
Alright, well, MTI does his calculations. Just going through it in my head, it's going to take 19.5 to get to 20. That would require Braxis Muse to roughly 12 more golems at a longer period of time. That it would take Demerine to take on probably 16 to 18 armor knights. Will she die? More than likely she'll die right in her next fight. But it looks like she'll need 9, 17, 10 more armor knights to get to 20. Oh, Braxis Muse got a perfect bid against him from the Golem. 38 MP left. Golem punches for 38. So he's got to make the long walk back. Demerine is there.
Wonder if he's just gonna tuck into Hawksnest now, or gonna try the Let's see. No, he's going to Hawksness.
He's got the MP. Both of them have the MP to last long in there. The problem is Braxis does not have the strength.
Yep, so I did some math. If Demerine puts on the Death Necklace, she'll have either 103 or 104 hit points. I don't know how the math works, if she goes right now. So she has 15 heal mores, so if you presume 17 attacks at an average of 9 damage an attack, because her range would be 6 to 12 at that point, that adds up to 153 damage. It is extremely close. I can understand why she didn't go. I would also have understood if she had gone, thinking, you know, playoff life on the line, I've got to make something happen.
And there's Braxis at 17. At 19, he is deciding whether he wants to go. And
Extra heal more. Hi.
We have a kitty!
Yes, I'm joined by my co-commentator, Mario the cat. Looks like he's gonna hop up. Hope he doesn't disconnect me.
So it looks like 6 or 7 more Armor Knights for Demerine. That will take her to 20. I'd have to assume, like, if she gets, like, 5 more strength, she's gonna go. Because with Death Necklace, they'll take her to 13. They'll take her to, 130, and she'll be swinging at for anywhere between 7 to 15.
Right, which is a lot better than 6 to 12. Yeah, I think I agree with Philo here, that basically anything at all is go mode at this point. As it is, it's extremely close, and you know, if she wanted to roll the dice, I could understand if she had gone in and...
Ooh, rolled low, so she had to... So she's just gonna go hurt more again.
Oh no!
But Bizzles!
Oh boy. Yeah, Fury SK thinking that's, now with the full resources, that brings... Oh, it looks like she's gonna repel.
Yeah, she's gonna go dive and grind.
That brings up a question, yeah, do you just go for it now? Try to get the level on the way down.
Or if you're lucky, you get the level on the way.
Right.
And that might be a play by Demerine because she has seen Stoneman outside of Sherlock, so that could be a possibility.
And it looks like, yes, this is in fact one big continent, as we see Demerine going into Yarnham from the other way, via Swamp Cave.
And McGrew's saying 0 power, 25 magic points. If that's the case, that's fine. That's a lot more hurt. That's a lot more heal mores. That's 3 more heal mores.
That's fine, but it won't particularly help Demerine. She'll have to outside and refill. She would need to cast outside, but I think she could live with that, though. So it would help her, just not right away. Question in chat, why does she keep using magic? Well, at this point, she is close enough for a level. I believe the level at this point is 19.5. She's about 200 experience away. So she might just be thinking grind the top floor, throw a couple hurt mores, then bail out, heal, and go. Yeah, exactly what Maguru said in chat. Grinding here so she can then in and dive.
And not only that, she's really close to Rimildar as well, so you can go to either one and be okay.
Right, okay, now going to... Ah, okay. She hoping to pick off a knight on the way, which she does. If that's the plan, she has played it very well here, getting level 20.
Let's take a look at see if there's any good strength. Yep, 6.
Power.
That's enough.
That's enough, and the 5 MP affording her an extra heal more. That is go time. And that extra HP will give a little bit more Death Necklace leeway to opening up maybe the possibility of double attacks. Unlikely, but not impossible, especially with 97 defense. I believe that means the Dragon Lord can do either 23 in physical attack for a max of 46 or 45. Minimum of 23.
And she's also defense breaking DL1.
Also very helpful. Range has 5 herbs.
Good stack of herbs. Garanum is close. She's going to fight on her way down, which I don't mind, which I kind of mind.
Yeah, 98 agility, not a lot of strength. I wonder if she just maybe misclicked. Looks like she's running away from things now.
Friendly bunch of enemies to have on that top floor to be able to run away from. Axe Knights, Green Dragons, Star Wyverns. Star Wyverns might be the worst. But here's Braxis. He is diving.
Looks like he's going, yeah.
Maybe he's possibly going to take a look at that spike tile that's on the top or the bottom of the castle.
Yeah, he's gonna try if this Armored Knight lets him get away, which... gets away at the last second.
And Demerine just passed Braxis Muse.
He's trying to keep his resources, but he just is not getting good luck with these Armored Knights. Gets away again, though. Goes in his own way, he is getting good luck. He's got to burn a heal more, though.
Yeah, but he's got the extra heal more to burn, though.
It's true. I'm wondering if he's lost on this floor.
It is that diamond floor, and it is really tough.
Right, that floor, not one you can just bonk your way through.
Meanwhile, Demerine is now on the U floor. She is close to the bottom and ready to tackle the Dragon Lord. Now, I'm looking at her stats. She's at 121 right now, AP. I wonder if our wonderful tracker can... What will happen is she'll throw on the Death Necklace when she gets to the Dragon Lord. Can we have the demonstration, please? Throw that on. Yeah. She'll have 110 and 131 attack power, so she'll be rolling a high of 15, low of 7. So that is good right there.
Yeah, so the average is 11. We're technically slightly below it, I think. I believe the RNG skews slightly toward the lower numbers. But either way, with all the heal moves, with the slight but real possibility of double attacks, she can get there with all her resources. She should be good to go here.
She could even burn a heal more and she'll be fine. Meanwhile, runs to a red Dragon Bow, is able to get away from it. And Golem's in the spike spot.
I'm gonna put that Fairy Flute to good use.
And that'll take care of that.
Yep, the Star Wyvern getting the jump on her. 2 whole damage.
Yeah, she's defense breaking those Star Wyverns. No, she's gonna go normal.
Didn't use the Death Necklace. Interesting. She realized it, she bailed out, now she's gonna put on the Death Necklace. I was also wondering, you actually can put on the Death Necklace during the fight. That's also an option.
Yeah, but why would you? Meanwhile, thank you for the raid, Spark Over. You and your bridges make this stream go.
Alright, meanwhile, Demerine starting her Dragon Lord fight. Question from chat, are the non-combat spells castable in battle? I believe the answer is yes. I know it works the other way. And Demerine getting back attacked.
That's gonna be okay. She'll be able to get 1 hit off anyways for 12, so that's a little above the average, so she'll be okay. Barring a missed menu, it looks like she's got it.
Okay, non-combat spells, I'm getting corrected in the chat. Non-combat spells not castable in combat. The opposite is not true. It is very possible to use combat spells outside of combat. You want to hurt more a set of stairs, you go right ahead. Game will happily take your magic points.
So she's getting some low rolls, a 9 and a 10, but she's got a whole bunch of heroes, an 8. I think that's the min, but she's gonna be okay.
Yeah, so many heal more, she's still in fine shape here. Meanwhile, Brax is hitting level 20.
Oh boy, look at that strength. He's only going to be swinging for a high of 13.
I think he's gonna try and grind another level here.
He doesn't have a choice.
I mean, he could go for the Veralis, double hurt more strats. Joined once again by my co-commentator, Mario the Cat.
We appreciate Mario the Cat.
I appreciate him, except when he decides to offer his assistance when I'm racing.
That could be a problem. Meanwhile, Demerine2 is almost done with the Dragon Lord. Brax's Muse is on the grind. I think it was the choice of going HP MP is what's going to do him in here.
Meanwhile, Demerine on our second last heal more here.
Not gonna matter. Get your GGs out, ladies and gentlemen. Demerine2 defeats the Dragon Lord. Demerine2 is going to go to 3-2 and will qualify for the brackets.
That is right. It is just a formality now. Little D cannot take the king's place, and there it is. Demerine's official time, 2 hours, 13 minutes, 42 seconds.
And here we have Demerine already in chat. Demerine, congratulations, 3-2. You're going on to the brackets. How do you feel?
Nobody told me that I was going to get the exact same seed Silverfire got yesterday, so thanks.
Well, congratulations. Yeah, I guess tell us a little bit more about the seed in general. Actually, I want to ask you something. You were looking at 19, you were looking at it a long time. Did you consider going at 19 at all?
I was really thinking about Death Necklacing at 19, and I was like, I'm going to come up one swing short, and I'm going to be really miserable if that happens. And then I died to AKs on my last grind, and I was just like, you know what, like, we'll get the last 500 experience on the way, I gotta get going, I got some time, I got no time, I'm way behind. I had to be so far behind. So I'm like, great, 500 experience, I can get that on the road, I'll just beat up some wizards or hurt more some things or something, and then nothing showed up.
Right. I was kind of doing the math, and I sort of figured out you would have done an average of 153 damage at 19.
That's what I got, was 153, and I'm like, that's a 25% chance to win, let's go to 20.
Yeah. It was
And 20 was the business.
20 was easy mode, really. But as I said at the time, I understood you going to 20. I also would completely understood had you said, you know what, playoff life on the line, I've got to go now, and if you had tried to make it happen at 19, I would have understood that as well. Even if the odds may not have necessarily been great.
Yeah, I think I played that real poorly, honestly, just all the way around.
No, you played it fine. You got the win. I want to take a look if our tracker can throw it up. I want to see what the Dragon Lord's HP was, if we're able to get it. Meanwhile, Braxis Muse falls victim to the golem and is a little ways away, has to go back to Tantagel. Max. You did the right thing by grinding.
Wow. So yeah, I think obviously grinding to 20 worked out, but it looks like results-based thinking, obviously, but clearly the correct move there is getting that one more level.
I feel like I didn't deserve that one, but we'll take it. We'll take it at this point, because I absolutely did not deserve that.
Deserve's got nothing to do with it. I'm right there with you. I've definitely had seeds where not sure I feel like I deserve the victory, but I will take it. Even last night, I made a lot of little mistakes last night and sort of got lucky that none of them came back to bite me.
Yeah, I think the only saving grace I had was finding that metal slime on like my 19th try to get a field, because it was like, oh, I'm at 18 strength right now. This is 255 experience points.
Right. I think the other break you got was finding Rimmeldar before Sharlock, honestly, because that had the sword, and Raxus actually found Rimmeldar before he dove the grave for the stones, so it wasn't an issue for him, but I figured you had 3 chests left at that point. Going to the grave for the stones, which you did, because you had 2 chests that you knew where they were in the grave, was kind of the smart move, and then at that point, if you had found Sharlock before Rimmeldar, I figured it was, the possibility of you skipping the sword entirely was very real, but luckily you found Rimmeldar before that, so you checked.
Yeah. Yeah, Sherlock was diagonal. There was very little chance that I was gonna. Oh, there's a 50-50 chance I was gonna find Rimuldar before Sherlock, the way that the second continent was, because it was a square. So if I went down first, I'd have been screwed. If I went left first, everything was great. And so it turned out that everything was great because
Yeah.
I absolutely needed the sword to finish.
Yes, and the chat noting, I had noticed that too. Mario the Cat officially now on co-commentary with me. Yeah, that's you. Yeah, hello, Mario.
Mario says hi, and I want to ask you something, Demerine. When you were grinding, did you ever think about going into Swamp Cave and seeing what was there?
I checked it when I was coming back from when I actually grabbed the sword, opened up Sherlock. I went back and checked and saw it was golems. I should have death warped off that golem, but I didn't. But I definitely should have taken a death warp off that golem. Would have saved me about a minute.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what Braxis was grinding on. Was grinding on that golem.
Golems are awful. Like the other tile has to be like stone men for me to want to grind, or stone men or like red dragons for me to want to grind golems. Golems just they feel so slow. They've got 150 hit points. They're like big old walls. You know, and I was just like, I'm just gonna keep pouring all of my MP into this tile until I get what I want, basically. I just sat there and I poured, like, literally just pouring just clip after clip of MP into the tile and then death warping, and then just throwing another clip of mana into it and then death warping, and then just blowing another clip of hurt morts and then dying until I felt comfortable, which was level 20, because this seed was awful.
Yep, MTI can sympathize because I think his last MTI's last seed, he had to go to 21.
Yeah. Well, I went to 21. I probably could have gone at 20. It was, again, kind of marginal, and I screwed up the math. Honestly. If you look in the spoiler channel on Discord, you'll see what the math I did, which was just wrong on so many levels.
I don't want to look right now. I'm afraid. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. But yeah, in my race yesterday, I did similar to you, except I had the okay, this is extremely close. I had kind of dive and grind, or more accurately, okay, use up my MP pool, then dive and grind to the next level and just go, basically regardless of what it gives me. Like, I sort of had that in mind from level 20 to 21. Whereas it looks like you kind of audibled once you ran out, once you died with a bunch of MP still to spare. You were just like, okay, we're close, let's go.
Yep, that was the plan. I probably shouldn't have thrown up that repel and tried to like hurt more some rogue scorpions around home, because it probably would have gotten me there faster. But it was, you know, it was just make sure I get level 20, hit up the inn, and then, you know, finish. Just finish. Just get out of this alive.
Yeah, it seems to be the case. Meanwhile, Braxis Muse got to 21. He is free and clear. 3 and 2, advancing to the playoffs, advance to the brackets. Is there anybody who you want to face who's either 5-0 or 4-1? Maybe you want to rematch against Ness Carnality?
I mean, looking at probably where I stand in tiebreakers, it is likely that I catch somebody at 4-1. So let's take a quick look at who's at 4-1 right now.
We don't have those stats.
I can go get them. I have it bookmarked.
Well, you're a better woman than I.
So at 4-1, we have Lorgon, Will Wagner Music, the 2 RPG Valkyries, and Beta Strep. You know what? Everything is terrible. Everything's awful. Just give me Syl next week. Let's get it over with. Let's have the grudge match. I want to have it out with my best friend. Let's do this.
That's alright. It's going to depend on who else, I think. Probably going to depend in part on who else makes it into the bracket at 3 and 2, but right now, just looking at who has qualified and strength of schedule and all that, I'm looking at one of whoever winds up 5-0, my next opponent, so I'm right there with you. But I mean, really, this whole tournament, there have been no easy matches for anybody. You know, the 3-1s and the 4-0s are kind of playing for seeding right now, but honestly, I'm not sure how much that even matters this tournament. It is just top to bottom stacked with so much talent. You know, the old guard, so much new talent coming in that any match you get is going to be a difficult one.
Yeah, looking at some of those names that are sitting eliminated right now, you know, your Ouijiwis and your Bryce Solfs, you know, Vrail has taken a loss, then going to 30 yesterday. Like, it's like Lavkian just basically going 2-0 and then flaming out, and I know he doesn't want to hear that, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Like, anything can happen. It's just, you know, I'm a bunch of, it feels like I'm either a bunch of coin tosses from top 8, or I'm just gonna get rolled next match. One or the other. I don't know. It could be anything at this point.
Yeah, it could be. I think MTI was the one who rolled Lavkin, I think.
I played Lavky in week 2, so he was 2-0 after that. Meanwhile, we see Braxis working his way down. Sharlock. 103 agility. In theory, he should be able to get away from anything fairly easily. As I say that, getting blocked by this armor knight.
Agility's just a number. And everybody's favorite, the Stone Men.
Stone Man giving him the business. Another armor knight. A rather mean Sharlock in terms of, like, enemy composition.
Gotta burn another heal. Gotta burn a heal more there.
He's also opting to Radiance, which is, given where his MP is at, I don't know if I like that play.
No, because it cost him a heal more. But he
Cost him
doesn't
another
have any
heal.
torches.
Ellie Gerbrap in chat saying that Randomizer, sometimes the runner outplays another, but often it comes down to luck. I think that is true in part.
I mean,
You think
I still
knowing
think-
what to do when you get your luck is a big part of it as well. But certainly.
Yeah, I think that there's a little bit of the cream really rises to the top. Like, just, I think from playing nearly any competitive game, I've played competitive games for far too long. I won't tell you how long because you'll know how old I am. But I've been playing competitive games for a long time, and when you reach that point, right? When you reach that point where you're close, like the things that differentiate high spirits from the 3 and 2 group are not really big, right? They're knowing like precisely where the breakpoints are and playing to them perfectly. They're making sure that they are always in the right encounter zone when they want to be, right? There's all of that little detail that goes into it, and that nuance that you have to pick up on. It's not just knowing when to explore in like the big macro of knowing when to explore versus knowing when to static grind, but also how to static grind, how to explore, right? You know, how to avoid encounters, how to make sure you're routing properly on the overworld, what the tiles, there's so much nuance. It's like, this is one of the simplest randomizers, but there's so much going on under the hood. There's so much to think about. And that's really where the challenge lies, is optimizing what's going on under the hood, because all of those tiny details really matter.
Yep, it's like if one sprocket isn't sprocketing, the whole machine goes down. It's just one of those weird things. It does look like Braxis is gonna go to fight the Dragon Lord. He'll have 14 heal mores. He's gonna throw the Death Necklace on. That will put him at swinging for anywhere between 8 and 16.
Just for good measure, finds a Star Wyvern just before talking to the Dragon Lord.
I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Fair enough, you have earned it. Congratulations on making it to the bracket. Congratulations on surviving a very difficult seed.
Yay!
And best of luck in the bracket stages.
So this should be a can of corn for Braxis, but it's going to be too little too late, unfortunately.
Alright, so we have 11 followed by an 8. 19. Not gonna gamble.
No need to. You have the heal mores.
You have
Might as
plenty of
well
heal
go
mores
for it.
here, yeah. With 132 attack power, your average is 12. So with 16, 17 heal mores, whatever it is. Yeah, plenty of... No need to gamble here.
You gotta wonder how frustrated Braxis is right now. Do you think if he went with the standard strength, agility, or strength, the HP build, you think this would be a lot closer than it was?
I would say yes. It was pretty close even with that. The time gap here doesn't really... The time gap is not indicative of the skill gap. It was very close throughout. It was just Praxis turned out to need that extra level that Demerine didn't. And it was really because of the build. Because of the lack of strength.
And is going to get a double out of it. That will put it clearly in the win column for Braxis against this fight with the Dragon Lord.
Right, he's gonna double heal more just because he can, I guess.
I think that had to be a miss menu.
I'm wondering if he was actually going for the swag and missed, yeah. Or just trying some alternate swag, who knows?
So 2 heal mores left.
There it is.
Yep. Get your GGs out for Braxis Muse. He has defeated the Dragon Lord and will be the hero of Tantagel for a day.
And there it is, Braxis has finished the seed. His official SRL time, 2 hours, 31 minutes, 5 seconds. He mentions in the SRL chat he will be going AFK for 1 second. We'll see if we can get him in here for an interview once he comes back. But GG to both our runners on powering through a very challenging seed from start to finish.
It was a big slog, but they were able to pull it out, played it to the end, and Demerine2 was just able to outslog the slog.
Yeah, I think the big thing near the end was her choice of grind spot. The combination of that and the extra level Braxis needed to be able to defeat the Dragon Lord was really the difference at the end there. So while we wait for Braxis, give me a moment to pull up tomorrow's schedule. We do have a casual Dragon Warrior randomizer race apparently forming tonight following the conclusion of this stream.
That should be a fun thing for those who want to get in on some Midnight Madness. Midnight Rando Madness. And while you're doing that, maybe download the randomizer for yourself. Play this wonderful game. The links are right there in the Discord or in the chat, and it also has a link to the Discord, of which you could chat with many of us wonderful people who run this wild and crazy game and in the hopes that we might have Braxis, who is just right here, who is just teleported right in front of us. Braxis, GG. That was a slog.
Yeah, the beginning was definitely not the way you wanted to start. I will say though, it was nice though having at least ghosts and potentially Magidrakes if you could find them, so it wasn't having to kill 160 plus blue slimes just to get anywhere. But yeah, the beginning was definitely a slog.
Looks like there was 2 slogs, the beginning and then having to grind all the way to 18, 19, and 20, and for you 21. When you saw the level for 20, we noticed you were running HP MP. Did you think maybe, were you rethinking that play of running an HP MP build for this race?
No, because I've done a lot of practice over the last couple weeks for coming into week 5 if it came down to 2-2, and in all the matches I played up till now, the struggle is you had plenty of AP to go to Sharlock, but it was like you had just enough heal mores. If in the event going down you had to burn one, you almost had to get out and do it again. So trying to play with these MP builds, I figured if we got a good seed where the AP wasn't an issue, maybe, having 1 extra heal more or 2 extra heal mores, depending on how the MP came, might be an advantage. So that was what I was really hoping for. But the AP was definitely a slog. Probably the worst AP on a seed. I probably played about 20 seeds with the HPMP, and this is probably the worst.
When you got to 20, did you think about diving and going all the way down? And
Yeah, like I looked at my stats, and even with the Death Necklace, I feel like I had an 80% chance to win with the amount of MP I had, because I had like 130, I think it was 138 MP or 133, and I felt I had just enough heal mores if I could make it down there with every single one. But then I had to burn 2 just to get through the Armored Axe Knights, which were just all over the first 2 floors. But when I saw that golem down there, the trap tile, I had such good luck in the swamp cave with it. I thought, well, maybe since I burnt 2 heal mores, I could grind enough. If I could get really good RNG with the whistle, I could grind out that extra level, and that might be enough to not have to worry about the 2 heal mores. And when I beat the Dragon Lord at 21, I had 15 MP, so I almost feel like I needed the extra, those 2 heal mores to even try at 20.
All right, so a couple things in chat. Of note, Demerine had actually asked for a reroll when she got to level 3 and got 0 power. I love it. That's actually very interesting. And then question in chat from Veralis. Did Hurtmore strats ever cross your mind? I'm guessing Hurtmoring the Dragon Lord too. Is what they're asking about.
No, because, like, I don't like going to the Dragon Lord unless I feel like I'm, assured to win. And then if for some reason I get way too many low rolls and it comes down to having to use hurt more, go for it. But I really don't like the play of going down there and saying, okay, I'm going to hurt more and hope I get lucky, because I feel like that's 8 to 10 minutes just wasted time if you don't get the 1 in 16 and have to do the redive.
All right, that's fair. Taking a look at just going to take a look at the schedule we have. It looks like anywhere between 3 and 5 races tomorrow. We might be making 2 of them sets of quads. But beginning at 7 p.m. tomorrow is, make sure these are all being restreamed or potentially restreamed here. Okay, yeah. So tomorrow we have Jackamus Wedge versus Rye Guy at 5 p.m. Eastern.
That's a battle of 4-0s.
Then we have Chitin619 versus Concakes and Ali Gerbrat versus Centroid at 10 p.m. I know the Chitin Concakes is a 1-in-3 race. I don't know about the other one. And then the last two races, potential pairs, we have J-Man 1865 versus the Seawolf 1, and Vanny Van taking on Scratch Dragon. As well as looks like Nitsky 1, and we have Invenerable with a question mark in parentheses in the schedule.
I think that was meant to be a triple threat.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see. It is actually a special event featuring Invenerable. Interesting. Oh, is this the... Okay, I think I know what this is. Yes. All right. Yes,
Yeah, all of them are 0-3, so
right,
that'll
that's
be
the,
fun to
it's
watch.
the 0-4 where they decided... we unfortunately had someone who had to withdraw mid-tournament, which meant that there was kind of an extra slot down in the 0-3 and then 0-4 range. So with three people at 0-4, they kind of decided to just turn it into one big melee. A bunch of people enter, one person leaves. So. Yes, so Braxis, unfortunately, that puts you at 2-3, which means you are unfortunately eliminated from the bracket, but a good showing, a valiant effort. Very interesting build. We haven't seen a lot of the HP-MP build, and sorry that didn't work out for you. I was very interested to see how that would play out. Like you said, it looks like you got just particularly unlucky with the stat distribution this time around.
Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing you can do about that. But like I said, I mean, I feel like I had a good run. I mean, I had a lot of top 10, top 15 players that I played against in the first few rounds. So, I mean, I learned a lot. So, definitely not upset that I'm out, because there's still a ton of good players, who are probably going to end up getting knocked out just the way it is. So.
Yeah, we were mentioning that earlier, that there really are no easy matchups in this tournament, and there are a lot of top runners, a lot of talent in the 3-2 range, and even as you said, the 2-3 and below. That you look at that and you're like, wait, how are they not in the bracket? So, it just really speaks to the standard, the quality that the community as a whole has raised themselves to recently.
Absolutely. Any final words, Praxis?
I just take time to thank you guys for, taking time out of your day to do the commentary, the track in, the restream, because I know it takes a lot of, effort and volunteer hours to put these together. So really appreciate it. And as well as the fans, I mean, if they weren't here watching, then we wouldn't have anyone to broadcast. But GG to Demerine, and now that I'm 2-3, I actually look forward to being able to take a couple weeks off DWR and, watching the rest of the tournament. So.
All right. Well, thank you. I guess any other final thoughts, Sigma fan, before we sign off here?
Just want to let everybody know we're going to be rating Zelda speedruns too. They're doing a Zelda 2 randomizer standard tournament between Zarnax42 versus Digshake. That should be a good one.
Yeah, speaking of talent, Zarnax42, DWR's own Zarnax42. I'm pretty sure he's moving on to the bracket stages as well, so definitely go over there and cheer him on. If there's nothing else, I will say thank you to our restreamer and co-tracker, CD Improv. Thank you to our other co-tracker, Cyberdark. Of course, thank you to both our runners, Demerine and Braxis. Thank you to RPG Limit Break, McGrew. Thank you to my co-commentator, Sigma Fan.
Always a pleasure.
My co-commentator and owner, Mario the Cat. Anyone who has had a cat tells you you do not own a cat owns you. This is Mario's condo, I just live in it.
That's true.
But Let's see. Did I miss anybody else? Anyone else you'd like to thank, sigmafan?
I'd like to thank you.
Oh, well, you're very welcome. It has been fun. With that, this is MTI signing off for the night. Go check out Zelda Speedruns 2. Bye-bye, everybody.